All right, sorry about that, folks. We had some technical difficulties over where we're doing the recording at stickam.com/Harry Thomas Show. And I'm going to get back into exposing this news that come out every week, exposing the New World Order agenda. I don't remember exactly where it went all flaky, but I'm going to start off with this news about RFID technology. That's radio frequency identification technology. It's a very serious problem because the globalists want to herd us like sheep. They want us microchipped with this RFID microtechnology, so that they can keep track of the slaves. And we're the slaves of the New World Order. It says here, Apple is building iPhone prototypes with RFID. This was told by what they really want to do is they want you to just be able to carry around their iPhone and they scan it and it pays for your goods and services and everything else that you're doing. And this is exactly what's going on. And over at 12160.org, Carol Case reminded us that the RFID chips are already here. Are you afraid of all the talks about RFID chips? They're going to implement the agenda to insert chips into everyone to control them like animals. However, there's one big flaw. There's 6.5 billion people in the world that they want to insert everyone with these microchips. In order to do it, they're going to have to use some very deceiving methods. And there was this video here I want to bring your attention to, exposing the exposing it through the mainstream media again.
Implantable human chips. Supporters hail the technology as a medical marvel, but critics warn that the potential risks are real.
Well, they talked about, for example, electrical hazards. This thing is by no means inert. The way it works is it actually picks up and amplifies ambient electromagnetic energy from the reader devices. And if you have one of these things in your arm and you get within range of a powerful electromagnetic field, it can actually burn you.
Oh, and by the way, it can kill you if you get out of line. A closer look at the who and the why behind this idea.
All right, this next story may sound like something out of, well, a Hollywood thriller. A Saudi inventor has created a killer microchip. It's designed to track terrorists and criminals and, well, you can think of somebody. Not only does it include a GPS device, it also has a lethal dose of cyanide, which can be activated at any time. You get my point? The inventor's bid for a patent has been rejected in Germany. Joining us now this morning to talk about it, Jake Ward, deputy editor of Popular Science. Okay, this is pretty macabre, pretty sinister and nefarious. How exactly would this work?
Well, there's a category of technology that involves GPS tracking systems being shrunk down to the size where you could actually implant it surgically. And we've seen a number of applications for this. This is without question the most sinister version of it that I've certainly heard of. You know, and the notion of tracking criminals is not new, but the notion of killing them remotely, I think, is a whole new thing.
Yeah, and Germany says, look, we're not going to approve this.
That's right.
For that very purpose. And apparently, in some of the paperwork in applying for the patent, you know, you could track fugitives from justice, terrorists, illegal immigrants, criminals, political opponents, defectors, and Saudi Arabians who don't return home from pilgrimage. It's a little bit wild.
I agree. I mean, the thing about you know, this kind of patent is Germany has very tight laws about making sure that you're not registering something that really is just a bad idea, a scary idea. And in this case, this guy obviously has some very strong feelings about what it would be used for, but it just seems a little outlandish.
Yeah, well, terrorist groups might be interested. I'm sure they'd be happy to grant their own form of a patent for that.
Sure.
The bigger world, though, of GPS, talk to us about how it's being used to, for example, track sex offenders?
Sure. The Washington State Legislature right now is considering the possibility of registering perhaps 100 sex offenders with a GPS chip that's implanted in their shoulder, because they've found that a few of them have been wearing them on their wrists and then have cut them off, which just defeats the purpose. And so, but the larger world of this technology is actually pretty happy stuff. I mean, there is new technology for tracking Alzheimer's patients, you know, who
may wander away.
Right.
Sure.
Tracking the vital signs of professional athletes from the sideline. You know, there's been a couple of cases in which, you know, football players have collapsed of heat exhaustion, and seeing the early warning signs of that. There's technology that sort of allows you to do that remotely. You know, even something as benign as keeping track of your dog. You know, a radio frequency tag implanted in your pet. The vet, you know, finds a stray, scans it, and finds its rightful owner in an instant.
Yeah. Do you see an explosion of the use of GPS devices? And obviously a lot of people are concerned about an intrusion of privacy.
Absolutely, sure. I mean, I think that there is a trade-off there, and obviously this you know, the inventor who filed for this patent has gone across the line in terms of privacy. But the use of GPS in the future will allow you to, you know, you'll never lose your wallet again. You'll never lose your keys again. It's that kind of stuff where you're going to, you know, you'll be able to beep any object you own, you know, and find it in the house. And so, you know, there's the vicious expression, and then there's the really, really helpful expression that I think we'll see in the future.
You know, I lose socks in the dryer. I don't know how that happens. Maybe that would help me in that regard. Thanks. Jake Ward, Deputy Editor of Popular Science. Interesting stuff. Thanks very much.
I've got my little buddies microchipped.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do, just in case they get away, and then you bring them and you take them to like the checkout counter at the grocery store, and you scan them, and then they say, hey, I belong to Megyn Kelly.
That is very cool, yeah.
Verichip has been approved by the FDA as a Class II medical device in order to identify high-risk patients in an emergency situation. It's elective, it's voluntary, and it is certainly critical to the evolution of information technology in healthcare.
Oh, go ahead.
You have one in your arm right now.
That's correct.
Where is it?
It's in the upper right arm. It's a simple injection process, just like getting a shot of penicillin.
Is it painful?
Not at all. They numb the area slightly. You don't feel it. They put a Band-Aid on it. Within 2 days, you don't even know it's there.
And can we, I don't know, did you get a good shot of this, Peter, the chip? I don't know how tight you can get on it, but these are small, and you've got a scanner with you right now.
That's correct.
Right?
This is the passive scanner.
The critics would say, and I listened to it, and I'm trying to figure it out, but they use the they word a lot. Is there a vast RFID conspiracy out there that is they would say this is a slippery slope. This is the first thing. This is where you lull us into a false sense of security. We all get these things. And then the next thing you know, I don't know, it's
making
like
Soylent Green.
Like the Trilateral Commission, or the whole world gets taken over, like in Terminator 3 or something. Is anything? I mean, do we need to worry?
There's no conspiracy, Joe.
You sure?
I'm sure.
I'm looking at you.
I
saw your eyebrow. It twitches when you say that a little bit.
And I'm looking back at you.
Come off?
And let me say this. As far as the RFID industry is concerned.
You know, this is serious stuff. It really is. This is the New World Order agenda. I mean, this is what they want to do. This is what they're doing. A lot of people have already been chipped. Requirements for the military, VIPs, all kinds of governments have been doing it. You know, what else is happening in the New World Order agenda? Well, healthcare just passed the House, including a private option and other horrors. And it's pure propaganda, pure propaganda. The simple fact is the federal government has no business whatsoever dictating anything to the states. The 10th Amendment is what is the solution here. Exercising 10th Amendment sovereignty, state sovereignty, saying that the federal government has no business telling us what to do. And they, even though that all the propaganda is saying that this isn't going to pass and everything, I don't ever believe it. And this is coming up in a session before the end of the year. They're going to try to railroad this through. So you know, this is up to the Senate now. It goes to the Senate. So you got to harass the heck out of the Senate now. Stop this health care, because this is a government takeover of health care. This private option is just another double jeopardy. See, all they're going to do is take the tax money, and then if you want anything halfway decent as far as health care, you're going to have to pay twice for a private option. Why would you want to do that? Why would anybody want to do that? You know, and there's euthanasia in there. They're just going to let you die. They don't want old people living for that long. If you can't afford anything, you don't get the technology. I mean, that's really just the bottom line of what's going on here. And there's forced abortions coming up. There's all kinds of funding in here that's hidden. You know, if you haven't taken a look at it, then that's your own fault, you know. But this is pure propaganda. It's unconstitutional to begin with. And there's all kinds of horrors in there. Stuff that is not very